What's going on, guys? Welcome back to W.D.Y.D. CSP. What do you do as a central sterile processor? Guys, today we're going back to basic and decontamination with suctions. All right, guys, suctions are probably in every surgical set that you've ever encountered. And it's actually used, I think it's actually used in every surgery. The purpose of the suction is to remove fluids from the surgical site so that you have clear visualization of what you're working on. Another use of suction is to evacuate smoke when you're using cauterizing instruments. That's old school. There are new devices out there to evacuate smoke from the surgical site, but a lot of individuals still use a suction, a Yankar to be exact. This is a baby Yankar, but a Yankar to evacuate that smoke from the surgical site. Anyway, guys, when these devices come down to decon, they should have been pre-treated. Very good for you, because during surgery, suctions are often cleared out, right? So tissue might have got sucked in there, a piece of bone, and they'll either use some sterile water to flush it out, or if the cannula was sent with the actual suction, they'll use the stylet. They'll actually use the stylet to clear out the suction. That is the purpose of the stylet. It's not for cleaning. It's to clear out the suction during surgery. All right, it helps push out those bones and that tissue, and the stylet should be long enough that it comes out the opposite end. These are part of the instrument that often is thrown to the side. It's not included in the count sheet, but I honestly believe that they are very important to have, because there's nothing more annoying than having a suction that's clogged up during surgery and you can't unclog it. That is very frustrating, and that's why multiple suctions are included in certain sets, because oftentimes the stylet doesn't come with it or it gets lost. But anyway, in my opinion, suction should be disposable. There's a saying in the food industry that if you can't see it, you can't clean it, and that's what happens in decontamination. We are actually flushing and brushing these suctions, and we really don't know they're clean unless we have a borescope back in the decontamination area where we can inspect them prior to sending them through. But a word of caution on that: borescopes don't go down every single cannula, right? At every single suction. For example, I have a 3 French Baron suction here. Now, if you do the conversion, 3 French is equal to 1 millimeter. The smallest fiber optic borescope out there is 0.8 millimeters. So that's smaller than 1. I should be able to get it down there, right? Well, that's not true. The diameter of the suction itself is 1 millimeter. The cannula, the actual hollow part of it, the suction part of it, I'm not sure what that diameter is, right? So that lumen, I'm not sure what that lumen is. I don't know if that's smaller than 0.8 or 0.8 on the nose. So the 1 millimeter is the actual diameter of the outside of the suction. So word of caution, a 0.8 millimeter will not go down this 3 French, and I'll demonstrate that live one day and show you. I think the smallest you can go down is a 5 French, but don't quote me on that yet. Anyway, so you're in decon. These come down. You want to make sure that any suction that can come apart should be taken apart. So this is a pediatric pull. You want to go ahead and unscrew that, take it apart. Sometimes some of them have a third disassembly right there in the top. You want to flush these aggressively. If you have a spray gun, you want to go ahead and rinse the inside of the lumen really well, the outside of the device, to remove all visible soil. If you don't have a spray gun, then you can use a syringe. This is so old school. There's new technologies out there that help you with the flushing, which is much more effective, because my pressure of flushing might be greater than someone else's. So you want to look into automated flushing, especially for cannulas, for suctions. Once you've rinsed it, you want to go ahead and soak these. And when you soak them, you want to soak them for the time specified in the IFU of the device or the chemistry. The other thing is, when you soak this, please just do not submerge these and think, okay, they're soaking. You have to prime all your cannulated items, right? Anything with aluminum, you should be priming. So with suction, what you want to do is you want to draw up some detergent while it's under the surface of the water. Is you want to go ahead and prime this. Priming means that you're filling this up with detergent until no bubbles are seen exiting. And once that stops bubbling, that means the whole instrument is full of detergent. So you're getting full contact inside and out. All right. So once that's finished soaking, you want to get to your brushing stage, right? And what you're going to do is you want to brush the exterior of your device, right? And then the interior. That's what we talk about when we say we flush and we brush, right? So important when you're flushing and brushing your suctions is that you're using the proper size brush for the suction. The brush has to be the right diameter and the right length. Okay, so take it with this one here. This is a very thin brush, as you can see, but this thing goes in there and there's no resistance whatsoever. I mean, this thing just goes in and doesn't even touch the walls, right? Okay, and you go to this one here. This one looks like it's nice, but you go in and I can't even get this in, right? Do not force it. Please do not force the brush in there, okay? You go to your next size. You got this one here. All right, great. All right, there's some nice resistance there, but is it long enough? Let's see. We're going to go in, and that's exactly what you want to see. You want to see the brush exit the opposite side of your suction so that you can see if there's any visible soil under the surface of the water. You want to remove that visible soil with your fingertips. Of course, it's going to be gloved. And then pull out slowly and continue doing that until no visible soil is noticed, all right? Another thing is when you're brushing, when you're pushing that brush through, you want to give it a turn, right? Because you want to give slight little turns to your brush because you want to get that brushing action in there really well, okay? What you don't do is this, okay? That's not the proper way, okay? You hear that scraping, you're going to wind up scraping the inside and causing some damage in there. So you want to do that one pass, remove, come out the other side, remove, and continue doing till no visible soil is noticed. All right. For this, if you don't have a brush that's small enough, like I don't have one right now on me that's small enough to go in there. There are brushes that are really, really small. And I think there is one small enough to go into these small cannulas like this. If not, then you have to rely on aggressive flushing. You want to continue flushing and flush aggressively until you see no visible soil. Everything goes over to the rinse sink, and it's the same process there, guys. You want to rinse this off very good, outside and in, okay? So you want to draw up some critical water, and you want to flush these several times. Check the IFUs because they might give you a specific number of times or a specific volume of water that you need to flush your cannulas with, your suctions. I keep saying cannulas, but your suctions with. Continue doing that until no visible soil, and then that is your manual cleaning process. That is also the process that I recommend for manual preparation before you go into an automatic cleaner. A word on automated cleaners with ultrasonics and washer disinfectors. Please remember that if you're going into an ultrasonic, you have to prime the instrument as well. And again, when you're priming, the cavitation is keeping that soil inside there, right? So the soil may readhere on there. So if you don't have an ultrasonic that has flushing capability, really, honestly, in my opinion, this is only in my opinion, it's a waste of time to place these in a sonic. Really, it is. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what their opinion is. You're just cavitating the soil's in there and you're really not getting it out. Even though you're supposed to flush them afterwards after the ultrasonic, a lot of individuals are just putting this straight through the washer, and the washer is just cleaning the surface of the instrument, not the inside. There's probably some trapped detergent in there, some trapped soils in there. And if you look down a suction with a borescope in many prep and pack areas, you will see that these things are nasty inside. And that's why, in my opinion, they should all be disposable. All right, guys, that is all I have for you. As always, stay true to yourselves, keep it 100, continue educating yourselves, and until next time, peace.